An interesting case reported there a few days ago in the media. It's to do with a young lady who was sexually abused and raped by her foster father. He's in jail, but she has, separately from the criminal prosecution, which obviously is not a matter for her, it's a matter for the criminal or for the DPP and so forth, and the criminal process, separate from that, she brought her own claim under civil law for personal injury or for damages essentially. And she has been awarded in excess of €300,000 against him. So let's take a look at that case. Yes, in this case, the man who repeatedly raped his foster daughter must pay her €328,000 in damages, a court has ruled. Stephen Murray, formerly of Vallymount in County Wicklow, was jailed in 2022. And this reporting is from the Irish Times, Fiacre Gallagher. This man, Stephen Murray, he admitted to repeatedly raping his foster daughter over a period of 7 years. He must pay more than €300,000 to her, High Court judge has ruled. He's formerly of Vallymount, County Wicklow. He was jailed for 11 years in 2022 after pleading guilty to multiple counts of rape, oral rape and sexual assault of Kelly Kemmy. The offending occurred between February 2009 and December 2015 when Miss Kemmy was aged between 11 and 18 years of age. Miss Kemmy, she's now 27, she waived her right to anonymity following Murray's sentencing, subsequently issuing civil proceedings against Murray and Tusla for placing her with Kemmy. Miss Kemmy's claim against Tusla, which sought damages for negligence for placing her in the care of Murray, was later settled for €250,000. In February 2024, Mr. Justice Paul Coffey ruled in favour of Miss Kemmy in her claim against Murray, which sought damages for personal injuries as well as rape, sexual assault, battery, false imprisonment and trespass to the person. Murray did not participate in the proceedings and judgment was made against him in default of appearance. In a judgment this week, Miss Justice Emily Egan ruled Miss Kemmy should receive damages of €328,000 from Murray. Miss Justice Egan, who characterised the nature and severity of abuse suffered by Miss Kemmy as a worst-case scenario, said Miss Kemmy should be awarded €578,000 arising from her action against Murray. This would comprise €450,000 in general damages and €128,000 in special damages. However, the judge ruled that the Tusla and Murray were concurrent wrongdoers in the case, and as such the €250,000 settlement with Tusla should be deducted from the total award. Miss Kemmy suffered damage as a result of the tortious and criminal actions of Murray, and that damage was not prevented, interrupted or ameliorated by Tusla, as it ought to have been, the judge said. An award of €450,000 in general damages reflects the nature, severity, timing and duration of abuse and the severity of the injury to Miss Kemmy, Miss Justice Egan said. This award is greater than damage previously suffered for other child sexual abuse cases, the judge said. The judge noted that the current upper limit for awards of general damages in personal injuries cases is €550,000. The €128,000 in special damages arises primarily from Miss Kemmy's claim of loss of earnings. Referring to Miss Kemmy's evidence in the civil case, Miss Justice Egan noted that it is estimated she suffered hundreds of separate incidents of rape occurring 3 to 4 times a week. Murray's abuse of Miss Kemmy began when she was 11 years old, some 7 years after she and 2 of her siblings were fostered by Murray and his wife. For years, Miss Kemmy's dignity and autonomy were taken from her, causing her to suffer humiliation, frustration, helplessness, loneliness and despair, the judge said. It was Miss Kemmy's evidence that Mr. Murray told her the abuse was normal but secret, and if she told anyone it would ruin the family, the judge noted. So, some pervert there. Miss Kemmy said she felt trapped, helpless and frightened, and that her shame was so overwhelming she felt she had no one to turn to for help, she said. Miss Kemi reported Mr. Murray's abuse to An Garda Síochána in July 2019. After this, she was rendered effectively homeless and her relationship with her two siblings was devastated, the judge noted. Murray would later plead guilty to 14 counts of rape, 2 counts of oral rape and 1 count of sexual assault. Miss Kemi continues to suffer with post-traumatic stress disorder, the judge noted. The judge also said Miss Kemi is a resourceful and intelligent woman, keen to gain security for herself and her young child, and who has ambitions of becoming a social worker. So that award, he must pay her €328,000. I sincerely hope that he has the resources so that she can give this judgment, this decision, practical effect. Obviously, if he doesn't have the money or doesn't have the resources, then this judgment is to a certain extent a Pyrrhic victory, but I presume she would have been advised before bringing this case, this claim against him, the civil action. I presume she would have weighed up, or she would have been advised to weigh up to what extent Mr. Murray could actually pay if she was successful. And as I say, I hope there is assets, there is resources there to allow this woman to be rightfully and properly compensated for the appalling abuse that she suffered. Kelly Kemi, 27, has waived her right to anonymity following Stephen Murray's sentencing. Hope you find the video useful. If you do, we'd appreciate if you hit the thumbs up button down below, and you may be interested in subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you are, hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you very much.